Beloved Creator of all that is, let us be ever mindful of our divine connection and inherent power gifted us as beings of light and love. As the year's end nears, the speed of its days defies the thought of there being room to fit much more into it. Like struggling to stuff Thanksgiving and Christmas into a hearth fire stocking. In reflecting on the year and on family and friends comes a flood of gratitude, appreciation for the efforts, the support, and love we share. The compression of time seems as days blurring into bygone weeks, and then year's end, folding into another with its refreshed hopes and aspirations. This quickening of time and aliveness of spirit can be overwhelming and daunting, or enlivening. It is our choice. When we feel daunted or overwhelmed, I suggest it is us feeling the disconnect, as if it is us alone with the task at hand. In contrast, when we are enlivened, it is us feeling the connection to spirit, to prime creator energy coursing through our being. It is the feeling of being energetic and powerful yet humble. It is feeling motivated and passionate, taking action. And it is also allowing oneself to rest, pull in and reflect, meditate, or play. When we are following purpose, motivated by something bigger than ourselves, there is joy, even playfulness. Those of us on this path resonate. Whatever challenges, when effort is matched with gratitude and service to others, grace abides. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, I'm talking to the sheriffs on Oregon. I was talking to a fellow today in Virginia, and he's talking to people in 15 states and 173 counties. And in our discussion, we agreed that the key is sheriffs, not counties. It's sheriffs. And then we start talking about how is a sheriff determined? And one of the things that I think is if you can keep your word. Can you make an oath and keep it? Can you keep a promise? Will you show up on time and do your job? That's a pretty good measurement. And then you read the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, and number 2 says, you will not infringe upon my right to bear arms. Not infringe. That's clear. Anybody that's smart enough to pass a driver's license test and get through DPSST and become a deputy and become a sheriff, they've got to have sufficient intelligence to understand shall not infringe. And they took an oath and they infringe. Every one of them sells a carry permit. And they all say because they have to. The state says to. The state didn't take your oath. You took your oath. And you broke it. Live up to it. You don't have any honor. Not until you take it. Not until you give it to yourself. Not until you keep your word. Not until you're capable of taking a proper oath, knowing what it is, and not violating it and not doing fraud. You think you can do that? There's 36 of you, and we've been hassling you guys to do your job since 2017. We served all of you that were sheriffs in 2017. Ray Sinkle and I, at your office in Salem. And we charged you at that time with the knowledge of Article 7 amended and that you were selling carry permits. So we knew in 2017, and you knew we knew in 2017, and here it is, 2025, and not one of you has a proper oath. You all sell carry permits, and you're all criminals. You think you're cool and you're sheriffs, but you're not. Being cool or being a sheriff and fulfilling the obligations is something that you do not have. And those that came before you did not have it either. And those that you work with in the judiciary, they don't have it either. It's all color of law and you know it. So misprision of felony, and we'll carry it on. If Sam doesn't get cleared by the Yamhill County Commissioners soon, we'll have to take the next step there. We're not going to put up with it. We're just not. We are no longer deceived. We will not have that put upon us. So, right now, the sheriffs have the opportunity for a do-over. A great big, I'm sorry, I just found out, and from here on out, I'm going to do good, honest. I'm not going to break any more of those constitutional issues. And keep your word. And be in compliance with law, what it was originally meant to be, to protect us from government overreach. That's what it's for, and you're permitting government overreach. You take orders in some form from Tina Kotek. She led the House of Representatives in violating their oath when they held session January 21st, 2021, and we were locked out. They all broke their oath, all except Mike. And he's totally de facto anyhow. He'll trade whatever de facto there is for another de facto as long as he can be part of it. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So, what do? Your very best every time you take a step. And if you falter, you pick yourself up and you do it again. All the people, not interest groups, not PACs, not corporations, not special interests, but people, me and you, would prefer to have a properly run and operated, for our benefit and for our peace, safety, and happiness government, and not a governance operated by attorneys and judges that take away our property, take away our health, take away our happiness, take away our money and our children and family without authority. Not a proper oath among all of you. And you think that this is acceptable because you're doing it. If it wasn't acceptable, you wouldn't be doing it. You like it. Admit it. Get over it. That time is done. That race was run. 115 years of that, and it's over. We are no longer deceived. I yield.
Hello, this is a letter from our court, our Article 3, Amendment 7 Court of Record, Civilian Common Law, to Richard Mulmer, Traffic Court Administrator for Washington County Circuit Court in Hillsboro, Oregon. As our court administrator, I saw your letter to Ron Vroman and need to address and get clarification on what, to our court and to our assembly, is a significant issue. The issue is the same now as the one our court presented to you in our cause number 0501-2024-RV, Notice and Demand and Caveat to Will, regarding two of your case numbers S2024-59 and 24SCO9281. The issue is stated in our Bill of Particulars in that instrument, and it reads as follows. The courts and persons involved in the offices of integrity must provide their proper bona fides. Identify your court and person as Article 7 amended or original with the proper oaths to the proper constitutions that include the laws of nature and of nature's God. Without this documentation, the courts are a nullity with no judges, clerks, administrators, recorders, or employees with proper bona fides such as human resources records of employment, certificates and diplomas, complaints, appointments, and settled or unsettled claims involving those listed here and that may be added after discovery. Your letter included 2 pages of your court's case history regarding Ronald C. Vroman, all caps, or Ronald Charles Vroman, all caps, and in 2 of the cases, Ronald Charles Vroman in upper and lowercase. Are the upper lowercase letters indicative of an Article 7 court, or are they all the same? Or is there no distinction between them? That question remains unanswered. Missing on your list are citations of trespass and for trespass with a firearm. With all this, the issue remains unanswered, that of the Article 7 court in original jurisdiction, as originally established on Oregon since 1859 when it became a common law state of the Union of the several states. If there is any blurring of the lines, it is within the Washington County et al. Court system when Article 7 became amended unlawfully to our findings. Knowing this, we have yet to find a court, ours is one, where a flesh and blood, mind, body, soul, spirit, man, or woman can find remedy. We are aware of recent Supreme Court actions in case you are unfamiliar. A decision has been made on Securities and Exchange Commission versus Jarchese et al., another on the Chevron deference, and as of December 8, 2025, one on Humphrey's Executor versus United States. While all 3 are of great import to our court, SEC versus Jarchese 603 U.S. 109-2024 is one most pertinent with regard to the issues we address, Ron's probate situation in particular. Knowing what we know, it is unacceptable to be required to appear in a de facto color of law courtroom with a judge, think CRIS, when we know these courts to be illegal or illegitimate, Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, page 375. And one that requires an attorney to speak for the living man who is perfectly capable of speaking for himself as jura summa imperii in a simple probate situation. Furthermore, no judge need be involved when we simply need an Article 3 court with Amendment 7 trial by jury in suits of common law, and where the value in this case is 105,000 Federal Reserve notes which is more than $20 as written in the Constitution. Here, SEC versus Jarchese et al. Is significant as stated in the Seventh Amendment, which entitles the defendant to a jury trial. This challenge, in this relative to where Article 7 amended has put us, is that a man cannot stand in a de facto color of law court for remedy for the very reason that there are too many blurred lines, not the least of which is the discrepancy of the all-cap straw man and the upper lowercase living man, both being on paper and across the bar. What is off is denying our court, or any court in original jurisdiction, such as an Article 3 court, is that somehow the state of Oregon, aka all caps state of Oregon, and the county of Washington want to dip their hands into the cookie jar of an 87-year-old retired veteran living on Social Security who gave his house and all he ever laid claim to his younger wife, who just suddenly died and left no plan for him, as it was assumed he would be first to decease the other. I rest. My name is Charlie White. I'm a court administrator for our Oregon Statewide JuralAssembly.org Court of Record. Thank you.
My name is Brandon Wingerter. I am Deputy Clerk of Court on Marion County for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Court of Record. Sheriffs, one and all, the ball is in your court. We kicked it into your jurisdiction, which is separate from ours, alas. It really is one team, you and us. It is, or rather should be, one jurisdiction. Your training, probably from childhood, has been put to join the realm of the corporate jurisdiction, which is the entity that pays you to do what you do. You can join our team, that of the people, with a simple turn of a mind switch. A tool to assist in this process is to consider taking a proper oath to the proper Constitution with its original jurisdiction and with the laws of nature and of nature's God, as stated in our unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. The last several months, we have posted and made publicly available that we consider a proper oath for the persons in our governance sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath. For it is the sheriffs who are in their county position to protect and defend the people from ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate, amended Article 7 courts that should not be, from governance overreach and taxation that takes seniors' equity, their forever home, and all they possess by enforcing convictions. It's like a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given. Rather than criminalizing living God-made beings for a dead corporate entity, our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. Taking a solemn oath is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff cognizes the importance of the proper oath, they can see themselves as one of the people or one with the people, rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. Therein is offered greater freedom, cooperation, and peace in all our dealings. Let it be so.
Hello. It is the province and provenance that I'm speaking of to our sheriffs about today. Province and provenance. It is the province of the court to judge the law, so it is their authority. That is a claim defined in Bouvier's 6th edition, 1856. We know what law is, as that is also defined. Therefore, we also know what law is not. Law is not what the judge determines. It is what the court determines. We know what a court is. In suits in common law, juries decide the facts and bring forth the verdict. The matter exceeds $20, it's got to be a jury. The only court where one of the people can find remedy is in Article 3, when going up against the state. The all-cap state, upper and lower state, or all lowercase state, or subdivision, or agents and assigns. It is the province of an adult on Oregon in a position of trust, such as our sheriffs and their deputies. Here is the problem. Trust and honor are lacking in a law form that determines he who can be deceived, let him. It is to your detriment to act in honor in that law form. When you have an oath to an Article 7, all caps, Oregon Constitution amended, you are in dishonor when you take their oath. It was ignorance to many of you before our assembly undertook the effort to teach our sheriffs. None of our sheriffs and their deputies, bailiffs, and jailers chose to remain ignorant. Did I say some? Yeah, some of them did. Ryan Moody is an example. That is of little consequence. A preponderance of evidence is available. It is the province of trust and honor in original jurisdiction. That is also defined. Provenance is the authority of the source. The true authority comes from our people on Oregon when we form a social compact, such as we did with Article 1, Section 1, and have for 7 years without rebuttal. Facts are made by testimony of men and women with our progeny on the land and soil of Oregon in the form of an affidavit of truth, and when cured without rebuttal. So, the original or origination of the source of authority on Oregon is Oregon's Constitution circa 1859, with and in compliance with the United States of America's Constitution circa 1859. Those two publications are defined in Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2 volumes, 1856, available on Amazon, printed right here at Troutdale. Lost my place. However, our provenance comes from an earlier source, our unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, dated 1776. Followed by the United States of America's Confederation and Perpetual Unions articles dated 1777. Both were after we had a Navy and a Marine Corps, 1775. We arrive as an entity and thus the source of the concept of original jurisdiction with the laws of nature and nature's God in written form for the first time, Jure, Jura summa imperii. We are the only people with this honor and trust codified in our documents. Not one other entity, nation, monarchy, or other among the 200 plus in the United Nations of New York, New York, can make the claim that the people are sovereign. The province of an entity such as we have defined in our authentic documents in common law does not change when in the possession of a pirate, a criminal thief, or the Oregon State Bar Attorneys Association, including their bogus judges. To have trust and honor, you must take it and make it yours, each sheriff. No one can give it to you. Not one of the criminals of Article 7 amended can or will stand against one of the people with their bona fides in order. A sheriff that knows the difference between jure and de facto can take a proper oath and comply in honor, and the de facto will stand down and fall away. You are no longer deceived. A proper sheriff with a proper oath can still deal with the de facto. That's what he's hired for, to deal with the illegal and illegitimate. It is there and cannot be denied, and fails when men and women choose honor. All the best of every good fortune for the good. I yield.
My name is Brandon.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.